Hey everybody, welcome back to Check the Gate, Film Lovers Deep Dive. I'm Bert, and as always, I'm joined with Brandon.
Hello.
And Michael.
Hello.
And today we are doing our second film in our Tom Cruise 6-film series. We are doing the 1988 classic, Cocktail, which is about a talented New York City bartender takes a job at a bar in Jamaica and falls in love. Michael.
Yes.
You don't seem thrilled. You chose this movie. I know you prerequisited by saying you had never seen it and you had just heard that people like to dunk on it.
Yeah. And I too would like to dunk on it.
Oh, please do. Dish. But
yes.
Extra credit if you can do it in a rhyme.
Oh, shit. Looks like I'm just getting 100% this time. It wasn't bad. It was fucking weird.
I will say that this film is listed in the top 100 most enjoyable bad movies of all time.
Yeah, that sums it up. Like, it's just, like, comically bad.
I had also never seen it. And every time I watched it with Cassie, every time something would happen, I was just like, the only thing I know about this movie is that he opens a bar in Jamaica. Fun fact, he doesn't do that. So I didn't even know that. I had seen the scene of him reading, I am the last American bar poet, I'd seen that clip a million times. To the point where I actually thought I had seen this movie. And then a week ago when I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't think I actually have. Every time I'm like, okay, and then this is going to happen. Didn't happen. Oh, and then so I kept thinking that, like, him knocking Doug out and then him showing up in Jamaica, I was going to be like, oh, he's going to be like, hey, you owe me 60% of whatever you're making. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought there was going to be some sort of... None of that ever happened. He's in Jamaica for 20 minutes of this hour, 44-minute movie.
Also just seems so random. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, he's in New York or whatever. Then it's just like, oh, he's at a bar, a circle tiki bar. Like, what? And then, yeah.
But he explains that a good bartender a lousy bartender can make $400 a day in Jamaica, and there's no taxes. So 2 seasons there, they would have enough money to open a bar with it's too many words in that bar name. Come on, Cocktails and Dreams. Come on,
Yeah.
Stick with
Totally.
Flanagan's. Brandon, I know you have seen this movie.
Yeah.
How stoked about it are you?
I mean, it's not great, but it's like a typical 80s movie. Like, it's just like neon signs and cool flip tricks and a good love story.
It took me... It took until they revealed that they were working at a TGI Fridays. I had no idea that was the bar that he'd walked into. You never once see the sign. They never say, hey, well, when he walks in at the help wanted sign, there's no, hey, welcome to TGI Fridays. Sorry, the bar is closed. It's not until later in the movie when you see the outside and says, I was like, oh, they're at a fucking TGI Fridays this whole time? That's when the guy is like, you're wasting your life at TGI. By the way, I've never been to TGI Fridays. Is this what TGI Fridays is? Is this like...
No.
Oh, Michael's shaking his head yes.
I'm kidding. No, it's not. I can only envision the one in Boise right by the ball.
Yeah,
That's my mom used to work there when I was younger, but yeah.
I was like, is that the whole thing was like we do flair bartending while you eat your cheese sticks or something? Like
Yeah.
They're like, I just want one drink, and they're over there tossing bottles back and forth.
Tom Cruise is making all the faces.
Spilling half of it, before you even get your drink.
The other
that'll
guy's
be
dancing
$8
with a margarita glass.
Yeah.
Half of it's on the floor, brother. It's in your socks.
Yeah.
Also, do you guys feel like this was kind of like 2 different movies? Like,
Yes.
the
100%.
first half of the movie and the second half of the movie, both like
It gets hella dark when he goes back.
Yeah, they cross genres like halfway through the movie, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, like the first hour is very like, I have big dreams, aspirations. I'm living my dreams out. They may not be dreams, but like I'm in Jamaica for this exact reason. I've been here 3 years. I only said it would be 2 seasons, but
Yeah.
it's now been 3 years. And then when he goes back to New York, it takes like a huge turn. So like,
Yeah.
in a way, I was like, oh, I kind of like that this isn't the movie I thought it was going to be. You know? But I also feel like in better hands, this could have been a much better movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Tom Cruise himself has said that it is not his defining moment. It is the lowest ranked Tom Cruise movie on Rotten Tomatoes at 9%.
I was about to say, I know that Rotten Tomatoes isn't like the best litmus test, but like 9%?
No. Yeah.
He described it as not a crowning jewel in his career.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's probably just a rock.
Love
I wouldn't
that.
call it a jewel.
What do you think is his... What do you think are his Mount Rushmore for? Like, what is his defining roles?
Top Gun. I don't know. Like, that's tough. That now that I think about it even more, like, because you have the Mission Impossible series, right? You got Top Gun.
I feel like Top
Rain
Gun
Man.
probably has to be up there.
Rain Man, Jerry Maguire. Like, I don't know.
I mean, like,
Rain Man, maybe?
He is always like, I mean, obviously, we all know Tom Cruise as the actor's stuntman, like action-packed movies. And honestly, with probably since the early thousands, he's kind of put his foot in the ground and saying, this is what I like doing, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And that's
maybe Tropic Thunder.
I mean, he probably would put it in there just because he probably like half his entire look, wasn't that all his idea?
Yeah,
like he was
the
telling Ben Stiller,
arms,
he was like, I want
prosthetic
big
hairy arms,
fucking hands. And Ben Stiller's like, whatever you want, man. You got Tom Cruise in our movie. Like, I want, and I guess like the dance sequence was his idea too. He's like, I want to dance, and he was like, hey, whatever you want,
have at it, dude. Like, go for it, do you? It's like what he does in front of the bathroom mirror every day when he wakes up.
Probably shines his middle tooth in front of his mirror. I will say we are Cocktail. We are now post Top Gun, so we are in we're in like Tom Cruise is the new hotness. This was the 8th highest grossing film of 1988.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Obviously, we'll talk about budgeting and tickets and all that stuff, but like it blew my mind. When I do my preliminary research first, before I even watch the movie, I'm like, the only thing I know about this movie is that people like constantly shit on it, and yet we're all just like, it's the 8th highest grossing movie of 1988, no big deal. Also came out the same year as Rain Man.
Right.
So I mean, like we're in it with Tom Cruise. He is so goofy in this movie. It is so. I don't think I've ever seen a Tom Cruise performance like this. Like, honestly, maybe the closest would maybe be like a Tropic Thunder, because it's just like so. Again, he's like serving these faces this whole movie.
Yeah. In the first half of the movie, he was so corny and like so cheesy. I'm like, this dude's not real. Like, this isn't like. He's there for like a job interview with Doug, and he's just like
and fucking Crocodile Dundee's like, "Oh my, Mike, you stole, mate."
And he's just like, the faces he makes when he like grabs the first bottle and he's like trying to flip it and flip the cup and shit. I'm like, what? Like, nobody acts that way. Like, nobody.
Like when Gina Gershon shows up at the bar and he does like that little like shoulder swag while he's like coming to like. Does the finger snap and point like, what do you want? Like, kind of thing. I understand that this is an audio medium, but like it's
you can get it.
Yeah, just watch the first 30 minutes of Cocktail, and you're just like, man, face after face after face.
Or just think of the most like douchey, pretentious, fake face you can make, and that's it.
And honestly,
that's
like
him.
So since I hadn't seen it, I did watch it twice. I was also kind of picking up on some urban cowboy vibes from this movie. Like, obviously, like he's not going to the big city to be a male prostitute, but like it's one of those, I'm going big aspirations. I'm gonna make $1 million. Life
get all the ladies.
It doesn't work out that way. It's kind of like the highs and lows. Especially, he has a sugar mama in the middle of this movie.
That whole section. Wow. Get me my carrot juice.
It's good for you. It's healthy.
Get yourself one too.
Every damn morning, she's just doing fucking yoga in the living room while he's trying to sleep.
Aerobics.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the workout tapes by Jane Fonda workout.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I still think, like, yes, like we've been saying, is it like an amazing movie? No, but just like last week, my God, I'm so glad I got to watch it.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'm just like, hey, now I know.
Yeah, so if someone comes up and be like, hey, have you seen Cocktail? I'm like, yes.
I've seen it twice.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, oh my God, this guy's the biggest Cocktail fan there's ever been.
Yeah. I'm actually wearing my Cocktail shirt.
Yeah, it says on the back, it says Cocktails and Dreams. I know it says Flanagan's in the front, but the back, Cocktails and Dreams.
Deep cut.
Yeah. Only the real ones know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Doug, I miss you every day. I don't. Speaking of Crocodile Dundee, Paul Hogan was originally supposed to be Doug. I guess
can see it.
there were also like 40 different drafts of this script. It's based on a book about. I forget the guy who wrote the book also wrote the screenplay. And it was about how he was a struggling writer who was working bartending in the late 70s, early 80s. So
Haywood Gould.
There you go. Yeah. Apparently he wrote 40 different drafts of the script, and then when the movie came out, he said he was not pleased with the final product. I was like, brother, you wrote the movie.
You wrote it.
You turned in the 40th draft, and you're like, you know what? I think this is the one.
We should have gone with 39.
Honestly, the 33rd one was my personal favorite. I guess there's like a lot of like deleted scenes that they cut out. By the way, a rated R film. Also didn't know that. Kind of makes sense in a way. I mean, I guess they do say fuck a bunch in this movie, but like outside of that, like I don't really know why this would be. But it doesn't matter because they say fuck a bunch. But I guess there's supposed to be like darker stuff in there too about how like Doug was actually making a pass at Elizabeth Shue, and that's why he like leaves the boat that second time, and that's why when Doug's wife like kisses him, he like kisses her back because it's like, I'm getting even with this man for the second time who's taking a pass at my gal. But they cut it, so they're like, well, now it just seems like he's an asshole again. But
yeah.
Be interesting to see what like a different version of this movie would be. Like, is there a diamond in the rough here? Or is it just like, hey, it is what it is kind of thing? Again, 8th highest grossing film in 1988. But let's get into some stats, fellas. 1988, a year we do a lot. Top 3 films, 1988. Coming to America at number 3. Number 2, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? This is also the same year as Die Hard. Die Hard was the 10th highest grossing film. 1988 Cocktail made more money than Die Hard. And then number 1 is Rain Man. Ticket cost in 1988, $4.11, which is equivalent to $11.50 our money. Budget for the film was only $20 million, which is equivalent to $55.9 million our money. And the box office was $171.5 million, which is equivalent to $480 million our money. And then this film was nominated for 0 Academy Awards. However, it was nominated for 4 Razzies, winning 2. It lost Worst Director and Tom Cruise for Worst Actor. It did, however, win Worst Screenplay by the guy who fucking wrote the book and turned in the 40th draft, and Worst Picture of 1988. So there's that. Hang that on your mantle, Mr. Haywood Gould. The beginning of this movie was so jarring to me because like they barely addressed that he was like in the military. Like they're like chasing. By the way, soundtrack of this movie, fire. Absolute
very good
80s fire. I guess it like peaked at number 2 on the U.S. billboards too. Like the movie soundtrack did.
I believe it.
just like, I mean, I think Kokomo's the worst song in the movie, like, and that's like the defining song. I even looked on the AFI list to see if it was under the top 100 songs, like film songs, just because it was written for this movie. It was nominated for a Golden Globe as Best Original Song. So I was actually kind of surprised it didn't get nominated for like Best Song, but straight 80s fire soundtrack this which we obviously get as they're like running down this bus and in like a squad car. So part of when you first see it, I'm like, did him and his buddies just like steal a squad car?
That's what I thought.
Is he now going to flee to Jamaica because he's because he like grant that, like, again, I'm like, I have all these theories and like none of them came to pass, but he gets on the Greyhound bus, a la Urban Cowboy, like he's excited. He's not listening to the radio, finger gunning ladies as he's getting on. Like I will say it is so strange seeing New York City from that angle. You know what I'm talking about? Usually you're like crossing the bridge from Jersey into Manhattan, but like we're coming in like the back way. So it's like
the
just
slum way,
desolate fields everywhere and like chain link fences and abandoned factories. He's reading his like How to Become a Millionaire in 100 Days book. Like he's just he's an incredible cocky guy who believes that he's just going to land a high profile job because he reads like how-to books. Like that is his whole mentality in like the first probably 30 minutes of the movie, I guess. He goes to his Uncle Pat, who he hasn't seen in forever, because, again, he was in the military. They addressed it that one time. The war's over kind of thing. I was like, what's 1988? Get ready. We're going to start one up in about 3 years. It really got me thinking about, like, cleaning bar lines when he's, like, pouring a beer, and he's like, I come back to a flat beer from rusty pipes. I'm like, oh, man, I wonder how long. When's the last time those lines were cleaned? Like in those old divey New York City bars. I guess that's probably the appeal, is just like flat PBR. He's drinking Molson though. So they have 2 beers on tap, Molson and Miller. If you don't like it, get out of here. Apparently the bar's doing very well, even though there's like the one barfly that's always there and like 3 people. Like enough for him to like his uncle to give him a loan at the end of the movie. So somebody's doing something right. I guess he does say, he charges him for the beer, and he's like, you haven't seen me in so long. I was out fighting for your country. And he's like, hey, man, you don't become a millionaire by giving away free stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's actually true.
Good point.
His uncle, he talks to his uncle, and he says, I'm going to be a millionaire. And he goes, great. In the process, before you become a millionaire, how about I give you a bartending gig? And he was like, nah, it's beneath me. And he goes, it was good enough for your father? And he's like, well, I'm not my father. I'm a business acolyte. We immediately cut to like the next day. We're doing like interview montages of all these interviews that he's doing, that he's being denied jobs for different reasons. No college, no experience. Maybe not right now, maybe in like 6 months. Maybe you should re-enlist. Somebody tells him, just like,
It's harsh.
Yeah, go to college for free, big guy. This job actually requires a degree, kind of thing. He kind of reluctantly walking down the lonely streets of New York City, like with his tail tucked between his legs, and he sees a help wanted sign. We find out later it's a TGI Fridays. He can smell the cheese sticks from the street, and he meanders in, and that's when he meets Doug. The lead bartender, guy behind the bar, not the owner of the establishment, but like
owner. Yeah. At first, you're like, is he the owner?
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. But
then you find out that he's
not.
Just a salaried employee at TGI Fridays. Like,
yeah, it's just a career man.
Yeah, he runs the bar. He makes nasty ass drinks called Red Eyes. It's like,
beer, tomato juice, a raw egg.
I thought about
some vodka,
making one, and then just trying one while we were recording. But I was like, you know what? I'd have to go buy tomato juice. I don't have any eggs in the fridge. Yeah, it's just like half a Miller Lite, tomato juice. They crack a raw egg in there, and then he puts some sort of pills in there, like 4 Tylenol. Probably not. It's the 80s. Who knows?
Aspirin.
He's like, do you know how to make a red eye? And he's like, gets down and starts looking at the glass like, no, I do not. Do you know how to make this? Do you know how to make this? He goes, no, but I'm a real fast learner. I need a gig. The whole time, Doug is also like flipping bottles behind his back. The guy can't ever fucking turn it off. He says, I can handle the job. I'm a quick learner. And he goes, all right, I'll give you a trial run. Cut to him immediately not handling it. It's the craziest fucking TGI Fridays I've ever seen. Again, I've never been, but like the one in Boise was never slammed. You know what I'm saying? It's also not even there anymore.
No. That was like, are any of them still even in business?
That's a great question. I do not know. I know that TGI Fridays like got turned into like 4 different restaurants. They just like Hastings it.
Yeah, it's like Ruby Tuesdays, and then like I don't know.
Yeah.
They're a corporate chain.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a bunch in California.
Oh hell yeah, brother. Can you Can you see if there are any cool flair bartenders are still there doing some Coyote Ugly shit on the bar top? Or
yeah, let me look at some Google reviews.
Yeah,
you gotta have your flair.
Drinks
like,
sucked.
Like I don't know if it's using my location, but like the closest one there is 804 miles to California. But let's see all the locations. Anyways, keep going. I'll figure it out.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I truly am intrigued. So feel free to interrupt whenever you need to. It's the craziest fucking bar I've ever seen. Everybody's just shouting different drinks. I want a margarita. I want a like a rum and coke daiquiri. The waitresses fucking hate this guy because he has no idea how to make it. He's not exactly handling it well. Like the pressure seems to be cracking him.
My favorite part is when Doug knocks him out with the cash register.
The cash register comes flying open, smacks him in the back. Hey, you gotta be quick in that, mate. Stands him back up. Cruz is struggling while Doug is like pouring like 4 or 5 drinks at one time. He's handling it like a champ. The night ends, and we see like Tom Cruise is making a mat shot by wringing out his socks. That you just imagine. You just imagine it's just full of like 17 different liquors, and his feet just like squeegees them out onto the bar. Luckily, though, he gets tipped out 10%. And he was like, why are you giving me money? I'm a fucking terrible bartender. And they're like, we have to give you 10% of our tips. And he's like, hey, thanks. And she goes, you got it. Doug then offers him, hey, how about a full-time job? And he goes, are you kidding me? I'm terrible at this job. The waitresses hate me. I don't know how to make a drink. He's like, stick with me, Mike. I'll make you a star. Again, still flipping because he can't not. We see that Cruz is taking business school courses on the side. And honestly, like you can tell that he feels like he's way too far behind because like business school, it's college, everything's so much faster. Who knows how long he was in the military outside of... How old is Tom Cruise in this movie, by the way?
Great question.
So he's 63 as of right meow.
So he's mid-20s?
Yeah. Minus 38 years, so 63 minus 38 is 25.
25. So he's been probably in the military for 6 years then if he went right out of high school. Or if it was like he got out of high school, couldn't find a job, and then just did... I'm creating fake backstory for this guy. Just being like, well, seeing as how it always seems like he's...
You're trying to add depth to his character.
Yes, because we never once talk about his life before this. They even mention, it was good enough for your dad. Never once talk about his dad ever again.
Who's his dad?
You kind of waiting for like Mel Gibson to like come into the bar at the very end. He's like, oh, hey, my son's getting married. But
also, I figured out there are 79 TGI Fridays in the U.S.
Wow.
Are they all still in California?
No, so it's like Arkansas, California, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia.
Texas. Florida makes a lot of sense. Honestly, Arkansas kind of makes sense too. But
it says there's 4 in Texas, and all 4 of them, which this might be an error, but it says they're all in DFW.
Oh, okay. So my area, my neck of the woods.
So yeah, if you want to
North Dallas, yeah.
So to go check it out.
Never been. It's like, can I get a daiquiri?
Yeah.
Just tell the bartender, hey man, this is the best drink I've ever had. You're wasting your life behind the bar. Who knows? maybe I'm doing a good deed. This is the best drink I've ever had. What are you doing back there, man? Have you ever been to, like, really constricting and confining New York clubs? Like, that is the place you should be pouring drinks at, my man.
You're going to be a star.
Yeah, the biggest you star, mate.
Yeah. The biggest concentration of them are, there's 11 in Maryland alone. And then 9 in Pennsylvania and 8 in Florida. The rest are, like, 1s and 2s.
Oh.
Interesting.
One of the DFW ones is in the international airport. And it's temporarily closed.
Shit.
The closest one to me looks like it is at the airport.
I think there's one in gate 14, 10, 30, and 17. Between terminals A and E.
Yeah. Dude, all of these are... there's one... obviously, look, there's one that's like 2 minutes away from my house.
Sick.
7 minutes away.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
I know what Bert's doing today.
Yeah, hit up happy hour.
Oh, it's my birthday next week. Maybe I'll waste a free lunch at TGI Fridays.
There goes $25.
Anyway, we can cut that if we need to, if that's not exciting or anything.
Leave it.
I
feel like it's pretty important.
I feel like anytime we're incredibly sidetracked like this, it speaks volumes about the movie we're discussing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like these kind of movies always turn into these kind of movies always turn into our best episodes, though. So
that's true, because I mean, there's like, there's not a whole lot of substance in this movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess there is a morals at the end, but like,
there's no morals in this movie.
Sure. It's ask for help if you need it. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Literally, he almost even looks at the camera and says that at the very end of the movie. I ain't too proud to beg. He's in business school. He's not been able to keep up, but honestly, we're kind of getting like the duality of like him taking business courses and it all seeming like it's going over his head. But honestly, it feels like the real school is him back behind the bar, where Doug is introducing we call this flair bartending. It's where instead of pouring a drink, we take 5 minutes to flippy doos your drink, and then we charge you 25% more. We also see like a progression of him, like obviously the very beginning where he's like struggling behind the bar. And then we get another night where now he's trying more flippy doos and like he's spraying liquor all over customers, like flipping bottles in the air. Again, like sticking his tongue out, making weird ass face. While like Doug is like doing these weird groovy dances behind the bar. We're getting a lot more of that montage of just, okay, now we're back at school. Professor fucking hates everybody in the class.
Falling asleep.
Fifth row blue shirt, wake up! Like, screams. The sun doth shine on thy marbled head. And I was like, oh, that's he's not bald, but clearly that teacher is fucking hating his own life, too.
Yeah.
Obviously, we bring it up a little bit again later. When he's not bartending, he's studying for school, and while he's studying for school, he's flipping bottles while he's also trying to study. Tom Cruise went to like the Toronto bartending school in Ontario to learn this, the flair bartending and stuff. And I guess they would not give him glass bottles, not because necessarily like he was bad, but they're like, insurance won't cover us if you break a bottle when you cut yourself. Tom Cruise, biggest star, rising star in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like. So he had to like rock plastic bottles the whole time because they just didn't fucking trust him not to be.
Those probably don't spin as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I mean, it's obviously a different weight. We see him at business school, and he pretty much quits because his professor shits on his dream. Like he has the course where he has to pick a field that he, wants to go into, and then write up essentially a business model. And his teacher like pulls his dossier out and says, "Oh, he wants to open a just like a
TGI Fridays,
essentially, but call it Flanagan's because that's it. Brian Flanagan is his name, and he wants to open them in every strip mall in America."
TGI Fridays.
Hell yeah, brother. He shits on him, and then Tom Cruise is just like, "Well, you're a fucking miserable old grump who hates his life because you couldn't hack it out there, so you have to teach us dum-dums here." He makes the comment to Doug. He's like, "The only people who care about what a teacher says are students when they're in school, and what they say outside of these walls have fucking no merit to anything." So he rage quits because his professor is like, "Cool, you're flunking this class. I'm going to fail you because you hurt my feelings." Before his shift, Doug tells him, "New York City is the place to be because you can strike it up big anywhere being a bartender." I mean, this guy doesn't... What the fuck does this guy know? He's behind a bar himself. Anybody can be like an angel investor. They're walking home. They go, they're smashed while they're walking home. We get a random scene of Doug falling down subway stairs. Oh shit, did he just fucking die?
He's like, you can't puke, but you most definitely can fall down 3 flights of stairs.
Falling down stairs, that's all right. They go back to Cruise's. Yeah, that's not a flight of stairs. It's a flight of stairs. Just rolls down. Back at Cruise's apartment, the two decide that they're going to open their own place, and they're going to call it Cocktails and Dreams. I like it. I see the sign in pink neon. It's a little much, but, I think I can get behind it. Doug says, "Yeah, and we're going to split it 70-30. And Cruise is like, "All right, well, you need your pension. Let's say 60-40. I can get behind that." Back at TGI Fridays, we're flair bartending like crazy. That's when we get the random man saying, "You guys are wasting your lives here. What are you doing working behind this bar? You should be coming working for me, the hottest new nightclub in all New York City. It's called the Cell Block." Which, honestly, looks like a frickin' prison cell, because it's just one of those... Look like they filmed in a fucking missile silo. It's just...
They filmed it in the cafeteria of a prison, it felt like.
Just claustrophobic with, different tiers of balconies. And honestly, what is this bar?
They're wearing prison jumpsuits, too.
Yes. What is this bar? We all stop dancing so we can hear, a man do, slam poetry. He's like, "I am a yuppie poet." And everyone's like, "Boo! We don't want to fucking listen to this." Cruz is trying to get everyone's attention. Trying to get the bar open. And they're like, "We need more poems, more poems." To which Cruz stands up on the bar and he recites this magical poem. "I am the last barman poet. I see America drinking the fabulous cocktails I make. Americans getting sticky on something I stir or shake. The sex on the beach, the schnapps made of peach, the velvet hammer, the Alabama slammer. I make things with juice and froth, the pink squirrel and the three-toed sloth. I make drinks so sweet and snazzy, the iced tea and the kamikaze. The orgasm, the death spasm, the Singapore sling, and the ding-a-ling." Someone in the back goes, "Ding-a-ling?" "America, you've just been devoted to every flavor I've got. But if you want to get loaded," and he flips a bottle in the air, "just order a shot." Gives us all a wink. Bar's open. Everyone's like, "My God." They start snapping their fingers like it's the greatest thing they've ever heard. Ugh. The whole time I'm just watching this.
Cringe.
I like it better when you do it, for sure. But listen to that whole time I was just like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." Just over and over again.
You guys think that was a real thing? That was an attraction at the bars in the 80s, was that people just recited poetry, and that was
at weird
no karaoke, but let's just recite poetry.
Imagine a bunch of drunk people being like, Just staring up. You're like, what
So thirsty.
What the hell was that?
Gina Gershon loves bad poetry. She goes up to the bar, and Tom Cruise does that little hippie shake while he does the finger point. And then she says, I'll have the orgasm. And he says, how many would you like? And then more flair bartending while he's making this, he's dancing and jiving while he's making this drink, and like Doug's like holding out a martini glass, like also like shaking and stretching across the bar. And then he fills up this glass with what appears to be teal slime, spilling fucking everywhere too. I wrote here, Doug dances like a goon. Cruise and Gershon hook up and start dating. Cruise tells Doug they only need $75,000, which, by the way, in 1988, in our money, is $209,937.89, to start their own cocktails and dreams. But Gershon and I have an idea. We're going to fly to Jamaica every summer. We're going to snowbird it up. We're going to go to Jamaica in the wintertime. Because even like okay bartenders make $400 a day, which, by the way, is $1,119 our money. Pretty good. $400 a day, and there's no taxes. Everything's off the books. We do 2 seasons because we are the best bartenders this world has ever seen. You and I go to Jamaica for 2 seasons. We make this money. We open up Cocktails and Dreams. Boom goes the dynamite. And then Gina Gershon's like, yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to go. And Doug kind of has like the whole thing like, interesting. Doug gets like hella jelly of Cruise and Gershon. And he bets Tom Cruise $50, which, by the way, is equivalent to $139 our money. A lot of inflation nation in this episode. That Gershon and him will have broken up because she will be sleeping with somebody else by the end of the week. Cruise takes that bet, to which Doug is like, all right, I'm going to get my money. They're at the bar, and Cruise sees Doug and Gina Gershon making out. To which he's like, what the fuck was that? And like Gina Gershon's like, hey, by the way, I think you're a fucking dork all of a sudden. Like, because he told her about their sex life, and she was just like, you're a fucking tool, you'll never be famous, everybody hates you. And then, like, that's a wrap on Gershon. He goes to Doug, and he was like, what the fuck was that? And he's like, I had to get my money back. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to punch you.
Doug's like, I'm just teaching you a life lesson, son.
Yeah. What a fucking scumbag. You're literally my only friend. Is it cool if I make out with your girlfriend? For a bet. No, it's cool, it's a bet. It's fine. Cruise literally uses that excuse later in the movie. No, it's fine. Doug bet me I couldn't do it, so I don't know what you're mad about. He punches Doug in the face. Rage quits. Doug jumps up with a broken bottle and holds it at his face. And Cruise says, if you're going to cut me, fucking cut me. Well, foreshadowing. He's like, you can't walk out on me. I'm your only friend. And he goes, was my only friend. Cut to him leaving, trying to hail a cab. No cab will even pick him up. But that's when we crossfade into Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I should have worn my lei. Off the Florida Keys. We says 3 years later, we find out that. Oh, by the way, we're nowhere in Jamaica and at a hotel bar because guess who shows up to the bar to order a drink, guys? Dick-ass Uncle Frank from Home Alone. I'm watching it with Cassie and I'm like, that's Uncle Frank. And then she goes, that's Elizabeth Shue. And I'm like, yeah, but I've seen Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, you're like, I know who she is, but that's Uncle Frank.
I've never seen dick-ass Uncle Frank in anything other than Home Alone. This is 2 years before Home Alone. Where's this guy been?
I can't tell you how many times the phrase dick-ass Uncle Frank has popped up in my brain since we had that episode.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
It'll just be like putting laundry away, and in my head, it's be like, dick-ass Uncle Frank. I'm like, Look at that. At work, typing dick-ass Uncle Frank. Like, what the fuck?
He's a memorable character.
Yeah.
The biggest villain of Home Alone.
Yeah, true.
Dick-ass Uncle Frank orders an orange thing at the bar, but is interrupted by Elizabeth Shue, who shows up in a panic and is requesting help from Cruz because her friend has passed out on the beach because she drank too much champagne. Cruz is pretty much just like, I can't fucking do anything about this, so let's call an ambulance. The two clearly have like an attraction for each other as they're loading her friend into an ambulance. Just being like, hey, hope you feel better. I'm going to throw up. No, I don't want to throw up. She's like, yeah, they'll probably just give you some Epicac at the hospital. Also, she seems pretty coherent. Like, I don't think they're going to give you... Epicac is like when you're fucking dying. Like, she's got drunk on the beach. Elizabeth Shue comes back the next day, thanks him for his help, and he makes her a cocktail. Weirdly, Doug shows up out of nowhere. And this is where I'm like, okay, Doug is now going to be the villain of the movie. He's wearing like the classic like all white vacation attire. Like
suit.
He's going to come in and say, hey, we had an agreement. I get 60% of your earnings. That never happens. I like he sits down to Elizabeth Shue because he can see that they're flirting with each other. He goes and sits down next to Shue and says, you want to see a grown man cry like a baby? And then he goes, hey, bartender, you know how to make a red eye? To which Cruz like turns around like sheepishly. He's like, the fuck are you doing here? And he goes, oh, I'm actually on my honeymoon. That's my wife over there. And he's like, ooh, Pocahontas over there? Probably the most clothes she wears in this entire movie, too, is like that bikini.
But I mean, when they go back to his hotel, she's got the fur jacket on.
Yeah, but he says he's on his honeymoon, tells everybody at the bar that Cruz is the best bartender he's ever met because I trained him everything I know. Lets everyone know constantly. I told this man everything
times.
I know. And a constant theme, why are you wasting your life at a hotel tiki bar? They kind of hit things back off. Elizabeth Shue's also just kind of there by proxy, just because they've been like communicating back and forth. The wife comes over. They end up going to like a reggae dance club in Jamaica. And just like Oscar Isaac, Doug says that him and his wife are going to decimate the dance floor. That night, him and Shue are making out. She tells him that she feels destined, like she was going to meet someone on her trip that she wants to spend the rest of her life with. Cut to, we're getting like vacation montage, dude. Like vacation love. What is the
under the waterfall?
Yeah. What is the end game for this relationship? Like she knows eventually she's going back home. You know what I'm saying? Like they're literally planning their lives together.
It's just a summer fling, though, right?
Summer loving, had me a blast. They're like riding horseback on the beach. They're dancing with locals. They're doing like backflips on the beach while like tackling each other in the water. She's like having him pose for a photo that she's drawing, and she draws a photo of Val Kilmer, guys. That is not Tom Cruise.
Iceman.
It's supposed to be Cruise, but I'm watching it, I'm like, that's Val Kilmer. She says that this is what she wants to do with her life while she's not waiting tables at a New York deli. And it's weirdly a deli that Cruise knows. It's like, oh, I know that place. That place has got like the sloppy lasagna and the chicken a la king.
The best lunch specials.
Hell yeah, brother. Cruz takes Elizabeth Shue to a lagoon, and they have sex up against a waterfall. To which, after at a bonfire, they're pretty much like planning their life together. You know. Cut to work the next day. Doug asks how things are going with Shue. Also saying, "Hey, BT Dubs, she's holding you back." You'll never leave this place if you're in this relationship. You need to get out behind this bar. Cruz says you only are having this mentality because you married a millionaire, so you feel like you can just say whatever you want, kind of thing. Doug then bets him, was like, well, the difference is I'm a closer. There are people who are workers and there are people who are hustlers. Workers never hustle and hustlers never work. I'm a hustler. You, my friend, are a worker. You got the nicest, most organized, cleanest bar back here. My God, man, you take pride in your work. What a dork.
What a shame.
To which, the other patrons are like, yeah, man, this is the best cocktail I've ever had. What are you doing back here? Doug bets him $50 to ask out what appears to be a very rich, not elderly woman, but probably 15, 20 years older than Cruz is now. Ask her out at the bar, to which, he kind of lays on the charm, making her a drink called the Juice of Love. Later that night, Elizabeth Shue shows up at the bar and sees Cruz and this lady, whose name we find out later is Bonnie, leaving the bar together. She's drunk. He's taking her back. She gets upset and decides that she's now going to fly home to New York City without saying anything to anybody. The next morning, Cruz, wearing the tidiest of tidy-whities, is sitting at the end of the bed, pretty much regretting the fling, as we see a naked woman passed out in the bed next to him. He goes over to where Shue is staying, only to find out that she left late last night, took a red eye to New York to go
red
home.
eye.
Yes. Yummy. The woman he slept with, Bonnie, makes him an offer that he just can't refuse. She wants him to come back to New York, and she will be his sugar mama. To which we see Cruz, Doug's wife, on a yacht. He's making some drinks for them. Lets him know, hey, I'm actually going to go back to New York City, and I'm just going to be a lady's lapdog for a while. To which Doug wants him to bartend at his cool new bar that he's about to open called Hysteria. Come back, work for me. No, I can't do that. I got my own dreams and aspirations of being a lapdog. He tells him, I'm going to bet you a $500 bottle of brandy, which, by the way, is $1,399.59 our money, for a bottle of booze. Which, by the way, probably the crystal bottle that it's in is probably the reason why it's so expensive. He'll bet him that $500 bottle that he will be working for him by the end of the year. To which Cruz says, I'll take that bet. Back in New York City, Cruz is not exactly loving life. As Bonnie is pretty much waking him up every morning, doing her workouts, trying to get him to drink carrot. By the way, carrot juice, really good. You ever had it?
Pretty good. Good.
I'm just saying, Bonnie's not wrong about that. All right, it's pretty good. Bonnie practically dictates what he does, what he wears. He thinks that by being in this relationship, she's going to tell other important rich people about his business acumens, aspirations, what have you. And she doesn't, because she was like, I don't want to just make it seem like I'm pushing my boyfriend on other people. To which he was like, well, I mean, I'm also kind of reading between the lines. He's like, that's kind of why I agreed to this situation, was that I scratch your back, literally, and you figuratively scratch my back. He goes over to Elizabeth Shue's diner, sees her working, but he just can't muster the courage to go in and talk to her. So we cut to a fancy art gallery. Cruz is kind of at his breaking point. Bonnie meets up with a group of her friends, and he kind of goes in front of her. She kind of snaps him back, honey, actually. And he's like, oh, in his brain, he's like, oh, she's going to introduce me to her, her friends or what have you. And she here, take my coat. And that's the end of the conversation. Kind of hits his breaking point when he's looking at a shitty statue. He kind of gets in a fight with Banksy about how ugly his statue is. Banksy's like, you're drunk. And he goes, yeah, well, you're ugly.
Great comeback.
Banksy punches him in the face. I love his reactions. Like the next 10 minutes are so funny to me. Like he gets punched in the face. He's like, God damn it! Like, just like clear punch in the face. He's like, I'm fucking leaving. He's outside, like holding his bloody nose. Bonnie comes out. He hands her his keys. And says, I'll be out of your house by the end of tomorrow, kind of thing. She seems like actually hurt that they're breaking up.
Yeah.
She slaps him in the face, and he's like, God fucking damn it! Like, just like, oh, motherfucker! She slaps him so hard, he's got a bruise. Oh, I guess it could have been from the punch, I guess, too. But, like, he's got, like, a big old, not like a shiner on the eye, but it's, like, on his cheek. Like, right here, not where you usually get bruised from punches or slaps. But, he finally goes to confront Elizabeth Shue, shows up at her diner. She is less than thrilled to see him. He also doesn't really know why she up and left, but he's also just like, hey, I just want to apologize, kind of thing, while other, angry New Yorkers are yelling at her to like, hey, I want a menu. I need a menu. We got theater tickets. We need theater tickets.
I'll be with you in 1 minute.
Yeah, but I want to see the specials. Oh, you want to see the specials? So she goes and grabs out lasagna and chicken a la king and dumps them in one in his lap and one on the top of his head. And that chicken a la king looks runny AF.
Yeah,
Ugh.
did not look appetizing.
And then she just kind of stomps off. And then, like, the New Yorkers are looking at him, and he just, like, casually is like, I wouldn't order the specials if I were you.
Yeah.
He waits for her shift to end, and he confronts her after. She weirdly invites him into her flat.
Yeah.
Like, she's just like, yeah, why don't you come walk with me? We'll start the conversation when we get to my apartment. She lets him in. He was like, I don't even understand why you're upset with me. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. And she goes, I fucking saw you leave with that woman. And he's like, connects the dots. He's like, God damn it. That is that night. And that's when he's like, no, it's okay. Doug bet me that I couldn't land her. So what you need to understand is that when a man triple dog dares somebody to put their tongues on a pole, as a man, if I don't do it, then what am I? And then she's just like, you're a fucking moron. You know that, right? Cruz is like, okay, fine. I got spooked. I promise it won't happen again. And then I turned to Cassie and said, I bet she's pregnant. And that's when she says,
ding.
Oh yeah? I'm pregnant. I was like, all right, cool. I got one thing right. She says, I'm pregnant. And he goes, okay, I'm spooked. She tells him, I don't need anything from you. I'm not trying to shake you down, fleece you. I don't expect you to stick around. I'm not going to ask any of your $1 million that you're going to make one day. And then kicks him out. And he's like, did you just invite me inside your apartment just to kick me out? And she's like, yeah, pretty much. Get the fuck out.
And don't look at this painting of the waterfall either.
Yeah, it's not their waterfall, Brandon. She specifically says so. I was too busy looking at the painting of Tom Selleck that she has like in the back. I don't know if it's Tom Selleck, but there was a well-mustachioed man, just a random painting in the back of her.
Yeah.
Back at his uncle's bar, he tells him, he's like, hey, I got something to run by you, something big. He's like, I'm gonna be a dad, and his uncle's like, oh, bar's closed. Kicks everybody out. All 4 people. He's like, yeah, man, I'm busy here. And he goes, I'm gonna be a dad. He's like, all right, bar's closed. Everyone out. Even kicks the poor old man who pretty much lives at the bar.
Poor Eddie. He just gets shit on.
But it's funny. He's like, what? That was a change for cigarettes. He was like, change for cigarettes you put in the machine, but if it's sitting on the bar, that's a tip.
And he's just like, fair point.
Yeah, okay. And then we cut to the bar is closed, and the uncle is pretty much just like, I don't know what the deal is, man. She told you she doesn't want anything for you. You're free. I'm like, well, that's not necessarily the mentality you should be having. To which Cruz says, but what if I have feelings for her? And he goes, well, then you're cooked. Cruz goes to Elizabeth Shue's house, knocks on the door, but her neighbor is just like, hey, she ain't fucking home. Stop pounding on the door. You're keeping me up. My cats are going crazy. She doesn't say that, but I assume she has cats in there. Well, do you know where she is? Yeah, she's at her dad's house. I know exactly where her dad lives, too, for some reason.
Yeah.
He has a Park Avenue penthouse. Yikes. He's like, cool, I'm going to go there. He gets the doorman to let him up. They have the weird elevator doors that don't open all the way. Did that bother either of you at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how elevator doors have, like, they go in and then they go in again? These ones just open in the middle, and it feels like you have to, like,
squeeze in.
Yeah, I'm a bigger person than Tom Cruise. I feel like I'd knock both my shoulders on these elevator doors. That's why I'll never have a Park Avenue penthouse. But that's literally the only reason. He goes to talk to her at her father's house, but she's not home, but her dad is. He does stern dad, have a seat. I've heard a lot about you in the last few days kind of thing. He tells her father that he intends to stick it out with her, to which he's like, oh, no. Actually, fun fact, you aren't. She doesn't want to see you. She wants nothing to do with you. Obviously, we see Elizabeth Shue is now coming home. She's going up the elevator. She's coming in the door. Her father hands him a check for $10,000, which is equivalent to $27,991.72 our money, to leave and never come back. Cruise tells him that no amount of money will keep him from her as she walks in the door. He asks for a second chance, but she refuses, saying, I cannot trust you. That night, Cruise arrives at the brand new cool nightclub, Hysteria, where Doug is the proprietor, and he's holding that $500 bottle of brandy, saying he's here to pay off his debt. Here's what is so weird about this. We see the outside of the bar. They are on the street. He sneaks past the bouncer. The bouncer tracks him down. No, it's cool. He's with me. And then Doug says, let's go somewhere else to enjoy this bottle. They leave. Now they're on a boat. Like they're leaving a boat. To then go down the dock and then get on his yacht. So the whole, even Cassie was just like, weren't they just in a building?
Where are they?
How are they on a yacht all of a sudden? I was like, I have no idea.
It's that oceanfront property.
It's on the oceanfront property. They go back to his yacht. Cruise fills up 2 glasses. And ding! You hear that crystal. It's a sick bottle, too. Cruise tells Doug that he finally made it. Your ship has come in. To which says, actually, it's not true. I'm a big fat phony. He explains that he's, over his skis.
He didn't realize anything about taxes.
He overextended himself because he put everything into commodities. Didn't realize anything about taxes, building codes, labor costs,
linens,
business school. Yeah, linens. He's like, I kind of blew my wad. Cheers, though. As he's pouring a massive glass, Cruz is like, hey, relax with that. Cruz is physically shook. That was going to be his fallback plan, was that he was, going to go bartend for Doug. Doug starts pounding his liquor as the wife comes to the yacht. I guess yacht, yes. Doug passes out. And in my head, I'm like, did he just fucking die? Because, he was talking mid-sentence and then just, slumps over. I'm like, oh, fuck. Did he just die? And then cut to, his wife is like, I want to go home. Wake up. And I'm like, oh, he just passed out. Okay. Cut to Cruz is driving her home. She invites him upstairs. I don't like walking into this room by myself. He obliges, takes her upstairs, to which she says, Doug says you're quite the womanizer, and tries to lay a smacker kiss on him. He kisses her back, but then kind of snaps back to reality, shuts her down, just being like, I can't, sleep with my best friend's wife. And then she says the weird thing of am I just supposed to sleep with the same person the rest of my life? And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, it's called marriage. She's just like, oh, phooey. He's like, I gotta go check on your husband. Goes back to the yacht, only to see that Doug has cut his throat with that expensive crystal glass. You know how hard it is to cut your own throat, by the way? Like, you're passed out before you get all the way over. Like, that's just science. That's been myth busted.
He was already passed out.
Yeah. I mean, he woke up enough to write a letter. A legible letter, by the way.
A legible, yeah, exactly.
Cruz now has no one and walks the lonely streets of New York City. He gets back to his apartment. We see that we cut to, we have like 10 seconds of him standing at the grave during the funeral. He gets back to his apartment, checks the mail, and he finds a letter from Doug that pretty much just lets us know that Doug is a phony fucking loser, piece of shit, who's just kind of been that guy his entire life. Tells him, bury your dead. They stink up the joint. You probably think I'm a piece of shit. Well, guess what? I am. Like that kind of thing. Cruz crumples it up and returns back to Shu's place, father's place. Forces his way upstairs by beating the doorman to the elevator. Kind of barges himself in there because the butler's trying to hold the door back. He runs up to Shu, says, I have a lot to tell you. First of all, Doug is dead. And she, oh, okay.
Oh, thanks for springing that one on me.
Yeah. He's dead because he was too proud to ask for help. But not me. I'm going to ask for help. You and I are going to have this kid together. I've already talked to my uncle. He's going to give me a loan for Flanagan's Bar to open up in every strip mall across America. I've saved up enough money too. And that he intends to marry her. Her father kicks him out, but Shu goes with him because, Daddy, I love him. Leaves with them, and as the elevator door is closing, he says, well, you're on your own. And Cruz says, that's the only way I like it. Like, brother, you're not alone. You've got to... Remember the gal you just professed your love to?
Yeah, and your uncle just floated you. Your dream.
You're literally not alone.
You're not.
Cut to Cruz and Elizabeth Shue getting married at his uncle's bar. He says that they're both insane and that she'll probably want to divorce him in about 3 weeks. And she's like, yeah, probably. Cut to, we don't know how much time has passed, but it's still within 9 months because she's very pregnant. But he's already opened an established Flanagan's Bar. I guess this is opening night of Flanagan's Bar. With, the bright pink neon sign that says Cocktails and Dreams. He's got, his, cool bartender vest. He's out there doing flip-de-doos. He's the only one behind the bar. There's 1 million people in this bar. He's the only guy behind the bar. He gets up, does another cringeworthy poem that he makes a toast to his unborn child. He tells him, the poem ends with him just being like, I promise I'll never get spooked again. And she says, you want a pet? I'm having twins, brother. And he's like, oh, fuck me. To which he's like, drinks on the house. And the uncle, who's floating the money, is like, no, don't. And then it ends with Cruz looking down the camera and says, the bar is open. Boom. I'm going all the way. Sooner or later, gonna love somebody. Boom. Kenny Loggins takes us out. Boy, howdy. That's the movie Cocktail, guys. And like I said at the top, this movie wasn't phenomenal, but I had a good time watching it, guys.
It was an easy watch. Yeah.
It's for sure.
Knew, once you're done, you're like, all right. Well.
If this was a 2-hour movie, then that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's an hour 44, but 5 minutes of that is, credits. So you're like, cool. We're like just over the 90-minute mark. Easy peasy.
It was an easy movie to watch.
Yeah. It was fun. Michael, we've done both of your Cruise movies back to back. How you feeling?
I felt like I picked well. Legend, hadn't seen it in a while. Gotta revisit my kind of point of view on that one. And then I got to see a movie that I hadn't seen before, and I probably won't watch very many times after this one.
Yeah, this might be it for me. To be
I was about to say I'll never watch it again, but
Never say never.
I'll just be like, oh look, it's on. It's on TV. I get it in halfway through. So.
Justice Beaver said never say never. So it's just
yes, Justice Beaver, exactly.
Who is Justice Beaver?
It's funny. I do that too. That's so funny. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Some good picks from myself, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, I was just about
to. Bravo.
Nice job, Michael.
No. It's kind of funny, we when we pick our movies and everything goes chronologically, and it's like sometimes we're pretty mixed in, but this time it's like we're doing 2 of yours, 2 of mine, 2 of Brandon's. That's just how everything shakes out. Are we ready to put a pin in cocktail, or is there anything else that needs to be addressed before we talk about what we do next time?
I'd say just we put a little thing. Umbrella.
Just one thing before we put the cocktail umbrella in it. Imagine this: instead of Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe got the part.
I saw like a fat list of people like that were offered, and part of me is like, okay, how much of this is accurate, or is it just like one of them was like Bill Murray, but he was doing something else.
Oh.
I was like, Bill Murray's, even though it's the 80s and he's younger, still feels too old for that.
I don't know. I think Rob Lowe could have done a good job.
I guess Tom Hanks was the first choice, though. And he was doing big. I think when the movie gets a little dark at the end, like, are you like, can Tom Cruise, especially, like, and I'm not talking like
early Tom Cruise.
Yeah, can he handle the weight of that? Yeah, Tom
Hanks. Yeah.
Like I said, we're in like Big era.
Yeah,
there was scheduling conflicts with Big, which is why he passed on it. So it's an interesting movie with, honestly, even with Rob Lowe, because this is, I mean, are we still in Brat Pack era? I don't understand why he's considered Brat Pack when he's like in one Brat Pack movie, but here he is.
Yeah.
Because when was St. Elmo's Fire? Because that was when he was like hitting.
1985.
Okay, yeah. So this is 3 years after that. But
honestly,
like, Charlie Sheen was also, I guess, talked about. There's a big list of everybody who they wanted for Elizabeth Shue's character too, but obviously we got what we got. And a Rob Lowe or Tom Hanks, I think, would be pretty interesting. Knowing, obviously we're looking at this through 2026 eyes, just like knowing the trajectory of Tom Cruise's filmography, this does seem like a weird blip on the radar.
It
just
does,
because,
totally.
We've already done Risky Business. We've already done Top Gun. This is the same year as Rain Man. So it just seems like a weird...
Like he needed a paycheck or something.
Yeah, I think the term paycheck movies gets thrown around a lot, nowadays. But it'd be interesting to... I mean, it was only a $20 million budget. I wonder what his salary demands were. And how much of that... Were they actually filming in Jamaica is another question, too. Because, I mean, outside of... probably, I guess there are some beachy stuff that looks rather tropical. But, like, the whole time he's, like, at the bar the whole time. So it's not like we have to fly to Jamaica so we can stand behind a tiki bar that we could do anywhere in California. But
so it looks like it was either $2 million or $3 million is what he got paid for Cocktail. There's some discrepancies.
10% of the budget? No. That's not bad. How much of that went into training so he can do some flippy-doos with some plastic botters at the Toronto bartending school? But
it's like,
just
$100.
2 years later, he got $9 million for Days of Thunder.
Damn.
Yeah.
Exponential growth right there.
That seems like a lot for Days of Thunder.
Right?
Is that where he met Nicole Kidman?
Legend, he was only paid $500,000.
Well, that makes sense. That's relative. I think that's like his third or fourth movie.
Yeah, Risky Business, $75,000.
Oh wow!
And then from Days of Thunder, it just like astronomically just skyrockets.
Yeah, maybe we need to look into that with what his salary was for each movie going forward. So
that's crazy.
500,000, And then 3 years later, I guess 2 years later, because Legend was 86. 2 years later, he goes up to 2 million. You said 3 years later, Days of Thunder's up to 9. But
A Few Good Men, 92, 12 million.
yeah, which is perfect segue, Brandon. That is
Thank
the
you.
topic of discussion for next week. 1992's A Few Good Men. Honestly, probably a top 20 film for me, period.
Agreed. I have seen this movie quite a few times, and I am so excited to watch it.
I love it. I love this movie a lot. I'll probably watch it a few
Me too.
times. It courtroom dramas. I feel like my pen's going to be smoking from all the notes I have to write.
Yeah.
So this might be a multiple viewing. Just to have you seen A Few Good Men, Michael?
I don't believe so.
Can you or can you not handle the truth?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that's the the famous line from it. But no, I saw it on the list, and I'm like, I'm excited to watch this one.
No.
I just watched this like just a couple months ago before we've even picked Tom Cruise, so
No.
it's still fresh up here.
Obviously, we chose this movie before. This will be our second Rob Reiner film, who's sadly just tragically murdered.
Yeah.
As of this recording, just like a month ago. We also did The Princess Bride that he did too. So we're going to get the two different versions of Rob Reiner here, especially, the Allens. We're going to talk a bunch about Alan Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin, not Alan Sorkin, you dork. But I'm excited. A Few Good Men. One of the great Jack Nicholson performances in that movie. We're going to talk about that plenty at length. But as for right now, where do you see we go ahead and cut print check the gate, guys?
See you guys.
See ya.